You know what? It's the rule breakers who'll be the most successful in the future workforce. Those who stick to the guidelines are gonna struggle. Machines can do that. If you want to be competitive in the workforce, well, then you need to add value beyond what an automated system can do. So here are 15 skills that you need to thrive in the next 15 years. Number 1. The ability to adapt and grow faster than the world changes. If you start learning a skill when it becomes popular, well, you're too late. There's already too much for you to learn, the rate of change is faster than what you can keep up with, and you'll face a lot of competition from the people already ahead of you. You need to position yourself for what's coming next, not reacting to what's happening around you, which makes the ability to adapt to change one of the most essential skills for the next 15 years. The pace of change is accelerating, and if you want to have skills that are in demand in the future, well, you need to adapt faster than these changes happen. Number 2, be able to transform information chaos into order. If you think the volume of information that you're dealing with now is a lot, well, you're in for a rude awakening in the future. Because it's gonna get a whole lot worse, all right? You're gonna be flooded with data, and a lot of it's gonna be fake. So not only will you have to be able to sift through everything to gather accurate information, you'll also have to organize and analyze it to derive meaning. The skill of nailing down the most important insights and using the information you have to back those insights up is going to be a huge relief for employers in the future. That's how you're going to be able to spot trends early, make decisions faster, and capitalize on opportunities that other people might miss in the onslaught of data overload. Number 3, bring structure and art into the way you approach life and business. Prepare to create what doesn't exist yet. In a predictable and automated world, the surprise of creativity and imagination will be a breath of fresh air. Everyone's going to be looking for more of it. These are uniquely human traits, and many will only understand its importance when it's too late. There's a gap for you here. Work on your creativity, nurture it, and practice it, and you'll be the person driving innovation. Coming up with fresh solutions to problems that machines can't solve will be like second nature to you. AI can analyze data and automate tasks, sure, but it can't think abstractly and out of the box like we do. There's still something kind of uncanny valley about all of the AI, right? And we can feel it, even if we can't point out exactly why. At the same time, that creativity needs to be balanced with structure. Creativity alone can't thrive in a world that changes too quickly. And you also need discipline to build systems that will help you to work more efficiently. Structure without creativity leads to stagnation. Creativity without structure leads to chaos. So you've got to strike a balance between these two. Number 4, mastering managing your time and prioritizing your to-do list. If you think you don't have enough time now, you're definitely not going to have enough time in the future. In 15 years' time, you're going to have more distractions, greater temptations, and more to learn and do, which makes managing your time and prioritizing your to-do list one of the most coveted skills in the coming years. So the moment to learn to manage your time effectively is now, my friend, because right now you should know how long each work task or project and each personal errand and chore will take you. You should know the shortcuts for reducing that time while still getting the results you want. Little tips and tricks that work for your brain and personality. You need to know when your mind is at its peak for different types of tasks, and you need to be able to look at your to-do list and make quick decisions about which tasks will drive the most value, because that's where your energy should go first. This is your project, for you, by you. You're gonna have to be really honest with yourself and pay close attention to the way you work, because otherwise, you will not be able to create the perfect time management structure for you and your life. Number 5, the ability to work with machines that will shape industries. Some jobs will become obsolete. The more you resist change, the more time you waste that you could have spent developing skills that capitalize on the current instead of swimming against it. It happened with the Industrial Revolution, with computers, and now it's happening with AI, robotics, and automation. It goes beyond technical know-how, and you need to understand how machines elevate and improve the things that humans are already doing. Number 6, being easily sociable and genuinely empathetic. If you felt that the people around you have become kind of socially awkward and less empathetic over the last few years, well, you would be totally right. And if you thought the world was heading in this direction, you'd be wrong. Our abrupt dive into new technologies isolated groups of people. Lockdown during the pandemic showed us just how quickly we can lose our social skills when we don't practice them. Right now, there are millions of people across the world so deep into digital connectivity that they don't even have the skills to be sociable face-to-face. And let me tell you, my friend, when there's a lack of supply, there will be an increase in demand. Customers and employers will gravitate toward people who are sociable and empathetic. It's actually looking like it's going to be two of the rarest skills in the future. It'll push our need for human connection, even and especially for those people who let their social skills suffer. Feeling and showing genuine empathy will allow you to see things from different angles and solve complicated problems. Without working on this skill, you'll only be able to see one direction, just like millions of other people out there. It's your helper, your personal assistant, and you need to be able to convey what you mean in a different language. You'll need a way to concisely bring your ideas from your mind into the world. You'll need to learn the vocabulary, tone, when to be exact and when to give freedom. And you'll need to check everything. Those who can bridge the gap between human and machine will lead teams that show perfect workflows, great decision-making, and creative problem-solving. Number 7, building cybersecurity literacy. As the digital world expands, so will the risks. Cybersecurity literacy won't just be an ace up your sleeve. It's going to become a must-have skill for anyone working online. You need to know how to protect your data and systems from breaches. You'll need to know how to keep your personal data and organizational assets safe. Those who have a head start will have a much easier time understanding the risks of the future and protecting themselves against it. Number 8, understanding what drives people and how to influence them. Speaking of empathy here, if you want people to do what you want, well, you need to know how to talk to them, even if their communication style is totally different from yours. Most people don't know how to have an interesting conversation with someone anymore, much less be able to persuade and influence them. And just as an aside, if this is something you want to get better at, on the Alux app, we've got a collection called Communicating for Influence. It's a curated bundle of lessons designed to help you communicate more effectively and influence the people around you. So if that's something you want to work on, go to Alux.com/app and get started on your journey today. All right, back to the video. Our dependence on social communication has warped our understanding of how to read people and how to talk to them in a way they understand, not just the way that we think is best. And this is only going to get worse. So in 15 years' time, those who have perfected this skill are going to be at the top of every success list. If you want to inspire people to be loyal, creative, and productive, then you need to know what drives them. And you have the time now, so start to work on this. Go outside, touch some grass, make some more friends. Listen actively. Stop talking so much. Ask more questions. People will find you more interesting when you find them interesting. It's an ego thing. So put yourself in their position and you'll earn their loyalty. Number 9, mastering self-control and emotional regulation. Epictetus, the Greek philosopher, has been preaching about Stoicism since the year 120 AD. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor during the height of its power, has been preaching it since 140 AD. But, we still haven't listened, have we? Based on the research on essential skills for the next 15 years, it seems that most of the world will continue on this way. But not you, Aluxer, because you understand just how valuable being able to master and control your emotions currently is and how much more valuable it's going to be in the future. Pressure is the result of not being able to handle change. The pace of change is going to accelerate, and those who haven't mastered the ability to stay calm under pressure and manage their emotions will get caught up in that riptide. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. It teaches us to be indifferent to what's happening outside of your mind and to material possessions. You have to learn to create a buffer between chaos and your response to it. You can't avoid it, you can't control it, so the only thing left is to control how you respond to it. This control is what's going to help you make clear-headed decisions. If you want to be able to deal with stress and uncertainty and drive consistent high performance, well then you need emotional stability. Number 10, the ability to see and fix hidden biases. AI and algorithms have already shown us that it can be biased. It feeds off information from humans, who are inherently biased without even realizing it. And look, okay, this isn't some kind of snowflake mantra, it's a fact. As these systems shape decision-making, understanding these biases will become an essential skill. You need to understand how biases skew judgment in everything from hiring decisions to product development. The future will value the people who can spot, understand, and combat these biases in both machines and humans. We need more inclusive, equitable outcomes in business and society. Fairness and diversity will become critical business metrics, and companies need people who are able to sift through that mess, spot the problems, and fix them fairly. Number 11, thinking like an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are proactive, resourceful, and take initiative. People who think like this are going to be in high demand whether you own your own business or are working for someone else. It's a prized trait. In the face of chaos and uncertainty, these types of thinkers will be ready to pivot, innovate, and lead. They'll be able to execute on a vision even if they don't have clear instructions. As we become more dependent on technology, we need people who are able to think without it. It's the only way companies are going to be different to those using the same systems that they use. Sure, you need to be aware of the hive mind and what's happening in there, but you also need to set yourself apart from it. Number 12, think deeply and independently. As you set yourself apart from the hive mind, you need to figure out the how and the why behind your decisions. Machines can process information, but only humans can dig deeply into the nature of it. Those who rely solely on machines and automation will lose this ability to think critically. It's important to learn how to look at a problem or idea totally on your own at first and find solutions without outside influence. There are paths that snake and wind through solutions that you can only reach with life experience, genuine emotion, and your memories. AI can't do that. It's the deep thinking you need to access these paths that will become a differentiator. Number 13, mastering data analytics and statistics. If the path to original ideas is reached through using your life experience, emotions, and memories to think deeply, well then your ability to interpret data is the fuel that will keep you driving on that path. With data analytics, you turn raw numbers into knowledge that you can use to drive value. But you also need to know that each number represents a person and their behavior. The future will run on data. Being able to interpret it can make you feel like a truth seer. Not only will you be able to spot trends, you'll also learn how humans drive those trends and what it is about the world and culture that's influencing those people. Data isn't a series of misshapen numbers. There's a story in there, a pattern. Being able to read and spot those patterns will give you an edge over everyone else. Number 14, being able to leverage smart systems. In cities throughout the world, sensors and garbage bins monitor waste levels and send that information to collection trucks so that they only come when they have to. Parking lots use sensors and a phone app to let people know where the spaces are available. In houses across the world, thermostats switch on when they sense that the people who live there are on their way home. These are all smart systems. It's technologies that use data collection, analysis, and decision-making algorithms to send information to each other. They save us time, reduce environmental impact, and respond to changing conditions without needing direct human intervention. They're becoming a part of our everyday lives, and being skilled at leveraging these technologies won't just make your life easier, it'll also make work more enjoyable. You'll be able to focus on the things you enjoy doing because you figured out how to get a machine to do things that you don't enjoy. If you can integrate smart systems into your workflow, you can use it to be more productive, feel less stressed out, and generate more time for yourself. And number 15, navigating the ethics of the digital world. Now, all of this technology is shaping our world, and it's only going to get more influential. With this comes some murky waters about what's right and what's wrong. There will be issues with privacy and the way AI makes decisions. These ethical dilemmas will need people who can understand the nuances of these ethics and act responsibly. Like, how are we going to deal with algorithmic bias, surveillance, and the impact of automation on jobs? How about ethical issues around data collection and sharing? Those who are able to navigate this will gain trust, be in demand for information on compliance requirements, and ultimately influence the sustainability of different technologies. And since you stuck with us until the very end, Aluxer, of course you're getting a bonus. And today's bonus skill you're gonna need to thrive in the next 15 years? Well, you're gonna need an unshakable amount of self-confidence. Because it's gonna be a wild, rocky road with all of these changes. The time for doubt and lack of confidence has become a thing of the past. It's your confidence that's going to push you to develop and exercise all of the skills we spoke about today. That is what's going to empower you to take risks, recover from setbacks, and trust in your thinking. In an era where adaptability is key, those who believe in their skills and judgment will seize opportunities that others might miss. That is how you stay ahead of the curve, my friend. And that's all from us today, Aluxer. Thanks for spending some time with us. Let us know in the comments which skill you think will be the most important one in the future. We'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care, my friend.